Hello everyone, my name's Nex, and today is Halloween. That means it's spooky season. And what do you want for spooky season? That's right, you want pumpkins, and that is exactly why I have this pumpkin and melon, but nobody cares about melon, farm that is based on a really cool flying machine for you today. And this one is really simple, it's infinitely expandable, and it's really cheap on redstone. So the redstone cost will stay the same for every length you do, because for more plants you just need to increase the length of the dirt paths. Now as you can see how it works, there's this neat little flying machine that has rails attached to it below, and those rails are the actual rails that break the pumpkins and the melons, and this is also where the hopper minecarts sit on. So the hopper minecarts are the collection, and those break the actual pumpkins and melons, as you can see here, and collect everything when breaking them. And when it arrives here at this unloading station, this is a smart unloading station, meaning that it will just adapt to your length of your farm. You don't have to do anything in terms of hopper timings or something like that, such as in Mango's flying machine farm. It adapts to your needs, so you can just make this how long you want and you don't need to change anything in the tutorial. And as you can see, it unloads everything from those hopper minecarts. Everything goes in that chest right here, and as soon as all the items are in the chest, as you can see, it's still unloading. The actual flying machine will launch again and break everything on its way. And there is of course a manual override, so you can just turn this off by flicking this lever. And then the flying machine won't launch again until you've pulled this lever up again. Now, because this design is based on a flying machine, there are a couple of rules that you have to follow when making this. First off, the most important rule is to never ever unload this farm while the flying machine is running, because most of the time it will stop. And I've even had some issues that the flying machine completely disappeared along with the rails and the minecarts, or that the flying machine dupes, which is, I don't know, questionable thing that to happen. I blame Bedrock, but whatever. Just don't unload this while it's running. And of course the second thing is that it is infinitely expandable because of a flying machine. So the return station will always be at the end, and it will just sweep all the way through. And then once it reaches the end right here with the return station, it will just return and sweep back and then unload everything into here. And a last thing to note about this farm is that there is small loss. As you can see, there's some pieces of melon right here. But honestly, the loss is very small, and it doesn't really matter because you'll be getting that back in no time with the super efficient and super cheap pumpkin and melon farm. And one last thing about this farm is that it is most efficient if you have one row as actual melon stems, and the next row is pumpkin stems, melon stems, pumpkin stems, and vice versa, because then the stems wouldn't connect to one that has already grown on the other side. So if you want the most efficiency out of this farm, make it so that every second stripe is melon or pumpkin, whatever, just so that they don't connect and actually slow down this growth. Now these are the materials that you will need for this farm. Of course, these 2 water buckets is that so you can make an infinite water source. The amount of slabs, torches, and dirt depends on how long you make your farm. And the solid blocks I didn't exactly count because it's really not worth counting. But as you can see, the rest is very cheap. So it's not a lot of redstone, not a lot of slime. It's very easy to get. And yeah, the melon pumpkin seeds also depend on how long you make it. Optionally, you can also have bone meal, but that really depends if you want to wait for it to grow or you want to use this farm instantly. Also, an optional part is leaves. These leaves right here are used because they do not connect to the slime blocks, so they will not be pulled and count with push limit and break everything. And those are there so that less items get spilled over the top, and that way loss will be minimized and you'll get the maximum amount of crops out of this farm. Alright, one last look at the materials list so you can screenshot it or whatever, and then get on with the tutorial, which we are going to do now. Alright, let's get started, shall we? So first off, you want to start off by making your first dirt strip, so it will be 11 blocks long, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then you can make it whatever length you want. So you are just going to want to strip this out to whatever size it is, and then just completely fill in this square. Alright, so of course, because I'm in creative, I just filled this using a fill command. And now we're going to go to our second step. And I just disabled outline selection to make this easier. So you're just going to want to count out by 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then just go out by 2. And like this, you're going to have a slab right here. So as you can see, there's 4. And then you're going to want to count 8 to your next slab. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then your slab. And then once again. And this is basically so that you can put torches on top. And this is also where you are going to put your actual water. So of course farmland needs water to stay planted, and you're just going to waterlog these. So if we just break this for a second, as you can see, there's water under it. And technically you could use jack-o'-lanterns because they don't get pulled by a flying machine either. But torches are just straight up cheaper, and slabs are not very hard to get, so that's very simple. And yes, as I said, just repeat the steps of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this can see whatever. And if you reach that point, you can just go to your edge again and count out by 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And as you can see, you will have some closer to themselves, but that's not really an issue. Alternatively, you can just extend it. So we had 7 here, 8, and this is where your water source would be. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, and whatever. Just fill out like that if you want to. Now you need to do the same thing on the side. On the other side, I mean. And this will be quite a lot simpler because you already have that one. So just go along that line, place slabs. And yeah, this is pretty simple. And once you are done placing the slabs, just waterlog all of these actual slabs and then put torches on top. Fairly straightforward, I think. Alright, once you got that done, the next step is to take your hoe out, and then you're just going to till this line of dirt into farmland, and then skip one line of dirt and do the next one. And again, just do that, and as you can see, you will end up with this stripe pattern, which is pretty straightforward. Alright, so now the next step is to install the hopper line. So just go to the very back side of this, and go by 2 blocks. So 1, 2, and then place this temporary block. Do that again here. And then you can just place some hoppers like this. And then what you're going to want to do is place 1 temporary block right here. Just pull it out like this. Break this, place this, break this, place this. And that is your main hopper line. So now just take your chest and place it like this. Now what you're going to want to do is fill out these empty gaps with solid blocks. And I know you could fit more melons and pumpkins inside of it, but I decided that that would not be necessary. And you have to take a comparator, I actually forgot that in the materials list because I am stupid, and place it right here. And then just take 1 solid block. And by the way, you can cover that in solid blocks, so just pull that all the way to here. I guess close that as well. Looks cleaner. Alright, and then just take your sticky piston, your slab, 1 piece of redstone dust right here, and then an observer. And then just take more solid blocks, make a little U shape like this, 1 redstone dust, and 1 lever, and that will be your manual toggle. And as you can see, only when the piston retracts, it sends a pulse. When it extends, it does not send a pulse to this piece of redstone dust, and that will only update the flying machine when actual hopper right there is empty and all the items are in this chest. Alright, now we're going to install the basics of our flying machine. We're not gonna do the whole thing quite yet. So just place 1 observer right here, and while you're at it, grab your piece of obsidian and place it right here. Take your slime blocks and do this right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Place 1 temporary block right here. 1 slime block again. Break that. That's the first slime block. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now just take your observer and place it right here. Another piston right here. Another observer right here. Yet another piston. And then just go out by 2 like this, break this block. And place an observer right here. And these observers need to be outside so that they can be updated by the return station. And we're not going to place in the sticky pistons yet. Alright, what I would do now is place in the leaves like this. That way they won't get pushed over the top and you won't have unnecessary loss, etc. And if you want, you can sort of figure out yourself how to put more dirt in here, more plants, but I don't think it's worth it. It just looks cleaner if it's just straight up a rectangle. And now, right here is your actual sending station. Go all the way to the other side because we are going to build the return station. So what you're going to want to do is go by 3 blocks and just fill everything within this rectangle. So just like this. And then you're going to want to make a 3 times 4, square like this. Place some leaves like this. Then take your observer right here. And then you have to go by 6 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Take your redstone dust and just place it like this. And then you are going to want to take more solid blocks, just place them in a line like this. Take your obsidian, this is to stop the actual flying machine so it doesn't go haywire and goes everywhere. More leaves, just like this. And that is pretty much your entire return station complete. It's super simple, the redstone is literally only an observer in a redstone line. Now before we go any further, we're just going to test the flying machine real quick. So just put 1 sticky piston right here, another sticky piston like this, and just flick up the lever and pull it down again. And as you can see, the flying machine works absolutely perfectly, so it will fly all the way to the other side, and once it's there, it will return. And as you can see, the flying machine returns just fine when hitting the return station, and it goes back to its original position, where it will unload everything it has in the minecarts, except we didn't put them there yet. And believe it or not, we are almost done with this quite simple melon and pumpkin farm. So just take your melon and pumpkin seeds, and you're going to make this row melon seeds, the next pumpkin seeds, melon seeds, pumpkin seeds, melon seeds, pumpkin seeds. You get the idea. Just do it like that and pull those seeds all along the farmland. Now once you've placed all those actual seeds along the farmland, we're going to do the last building step, and after that it's just waiting for the seeds to grow or booming them. So just go ahead and place 1 array right there, 1 array right there, and a 3rd array right there, and then a array right there, and a array right there. And just place hopper minecarts on top. And that is your actual farm complete, believe it or not. It doesn't matter which orientation the rays are facing, because they will just pull along the minecart just fine, no matter which orientation it is. Do keep in mind though that you will have to put a fence around this if you have mobs roaming in your area, because otherwise they will just push the minecarts off, which will not be very fun. Alright, just because I'm doing this in creative, I'm just gonna quickly grow this very fast using the random tick speed game rule. So just gonna do this right there. And as you can see, I'm just growing it by manipulating the random tick. But of course that's not gonna be something that can be done in survival. Just gonna set that back to 1, which is the default. And now we can test run this farm. Now of course, this is completely full of melons and pumpkins. Realistically, you will not get melons and pumpkins that often, unless you really leave it off for, a long time. And we can just flick this lever and pull it back down. And as you can see, it sweeps all the actual melons and pumpkins away and collects all of them inside the hopper minecart, which is absolutely perfect. And as you can see, it returned just fine at the actual unloading station. And everything is pulled and put right into this chest right here. So yeah, that is your spooky melon and pumpkin farm complete. And I very much hope you enjoyed this tutorial, because even though it is extremely cheap and simple, it took quite a long time to make. And that's because I only built the best of farms for you guys. So make sure to subscribe, because I put a lot of work into tutorials like these. I really think this one turned out amazing, because the amount of redstone needed is just so minimal, it's amazing. So yeah, thank you very much for watching this tutorial. My name's Nex, I hope you enjoyed this, and you know, have a happy Halloween, I guess. As you can see, I'm already very not alive from the saturation of my skin, but yeah. Yeah, see you around. My name is Nex, and bye bye.